Hello everyone, welcome to Literary Mystic, where literature meets imagination. This is your space to explore the stories, authors, and eras that shape the world of English literature. In today's episode, we'll take a journey through the history of English literature, uncovering the essence of each literary period. From the heroics of Beowulf to the revolutionary narratives of postmodernism, we will explore how English literature evolved, reflecting the thoughts, emotions, and cultures of its time. If you are a lover of books, ideas, and the art of storytelling, don't forget to hit subscribe and be part of the Literary Mystic community. Let's begin this literary adventure. Here is a quick overview of the major literary ages in English literature. Each of these periods is marked by its unique themes, style, and contributions to the literary canon. From the heroic epics of the Old English period to the fragmented experimental works of the postmodern era, these ages collectively narrate the story of the English literary evolution. The origins of English literature can be traced back to the Old English period, also known as the Anglo-Saxon era. This was a time dominated by oral storytelling. Anglo-Saxon poets narrated heroic tales of valor and moral lessons. Literature was heavily influenced by themes of bravery, loyalty, and the fusion of pagan and Christian beliefs. The most famous work of this period is Beowulf, an epic poem about the heroic deeds of Beowulf as he battles Grendel's mother, and a dragon. Other notable works include The Wanderer and The Seafarer, which explore themes of exile and spirituality. Old English, which may seem unrecognizable today, was a Germanic language, infused with the Norse influences. Only about 400 manuscripts from this period survive today, making them incredibly precious relics. The Norman conquest of 1066 brought profound cultural and linguistic changes to England. French became the language of the court and aristocracy, while English evolved into Middle English. This period marked the emergence of more accessible literature. One of the greatest achievements of this time is Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. Through its collection of stories told by pilgrims, Chaucer paints a vivid picture of medieval life, combining humor, satire, and morality. Religious allegories like Piers Plowman and the anonymous Sir Gawain and the Green Knight also stand out in this period. The literature of this era reflected the feudal system, chivalry, and the church's dominance, with growing emphasis on individual expression. Chaucer's works were among the first to be written in English rather than Latin or French, making literature more accessible to commoners. Next came the Renaissance, an era of intellectual awakening and artistic innovation. Inspired by the rediscovery of Greek and Roman classics, this period was marked by a surge in creativity, particularly in drama and poetry. The Elizabethan age, a sub-period of the Renaissance, saw the rise of William Shakespeare, whose works like Hamlet, Macbeth, and A Midsummer Night's Dream defined English drama. Shakespeare's sonnet also explored themes of love, time, and beauty with unmatched lyrical mastery. Other notable writers include Christopher Marlowe, known for Dr. Faustus, and Edmund Spenser, whose epic poem The Faerie Queene celebrated Queen Elizabeth I. Humanism, individualism, and the exploration of human potential became the focus. This was also the golden age of the English theatre. Shakespeare's work introduced over 1,700 new words to the English language. The neoclassical period, which spanned from 1660 to 1798, was an era inspired by the classical ideals of reason, order, and harmony. Writers focused on logic and balance, critiquing society and celebrating human rationality. This period is divided into three distinct ages. First, Restoration Age from 1660 to 1700. In this, we see a revival of theatre and arts, led by playwrights like John Dryden and William Congreve, with comedy of manners satirizing aristocratic life. Second, Augustan Age from 1700 to 1745. This was the golden age of satire, with Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travel and Alexander Pope's The Rape of the Lock critiquing society, and journalism also flourished through the Spectator. Third, Age of Sensibility from 1745 to 1798. This was a transition towards emotion and sentiment, paving the way for Romanticism. Novels like Richardson's Pamela and poetry by Thomas Gray reflected on nature and human emotion. To conclude, the neoclassical period emphasized structure, reason, and satire, leaving a lasting legacy on English literature. The Romantic period, which spans from 1798 to 1837, was a response to the Industrial Revolution and the rationality of the neoclassical era. Writers turned to nature, imagination, and emotion, celebrating the beauty of natural world and the power of human creativity. Key figures include William Wordsworth and S.T. Coleridge, who launched the Romantic movement with lyrical ballads. Lord Byron, Shelley, and John Keats enriched Romantic poetry with themes of love, nature, and rebellion. The Gothic subgenre also flourished with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, pioneering science fiction. Nature, individualism, the sublime, and the supernatural were central. The Victorian age, which spans from 1837 to 1901, marked a time of immense change and progress during Queen Victoria's reign. This era witnessed the rise of the novel as the dominant literary form, addressing themes of industrialization, class struggles, and morality. Writers like Charles Dickens exposed the harsh realities of industrial life in works like Oliver Twist and Hard Times. The Bronte sisters and George Eliot explored deep psychological and societal themes. Poets such as Tennyson and Robert Browning delved into themes of faith, love, and loss, while Matthew Arnold reflected on the anxieties of a changing world. Later writers like Thomas Hardy and Elizabeth Gaskell highlighted the struggles of ordinary people against societal constraints. The Victorian age is remembered for its blend of social awareness, emotional depth, and literary innovation. The modern period, which spans from 1901 to 1945, was a time of experimentation and breaking away from traditional literary forms, reflecting the chaos and uncertainty of a rapidly changing world, including the impacts of two world wars. Writers like Virginia Woolf and James Joyce explored inner thoughts and fragmented narratives. Works such as T.S. Eliot's Wasteland captured the despair and fragmentation of post-war society. Modernist literature often questioned societal norms and explored alienation, existentialism, and the search for meaning. Experimentation with language, style, and structure became central, rejecting traditional storytelling for innovative techniques. The modern period redefined literature, pushing boundaries and offering a fresh perspective on the human experience. Postmodern period emerged after World War II, challenging traditional ideas of literature and truth with a playful, fragmented, and experimental approach. It questions absolute truths and celebrates multiple perspectives. Writers like Samuel Beckett and Kurt Vonnegut used non-linear narratives and absurdist elements to reflect the complexities of modern life. Postmodern authors such as Italo Calvino blurred the lines between fiction and reality, often drawing attention to the act of storytelling itself. From identity and power to consumerism and technologies, writers like Salman Rushdie and Margaret Atwood explored global and societal issues. Postmodern works often reference or reinterpret earlier texts, emphasizing the interconnectedness of stories. The postmodern period celebrates complexity, creativity, and a rejection of fixed meaning. English literature is a rich tapestry that spans centuries, reflecting the evolution of society, language, and human imagination. From the heroic epics of the Anglo-Saxons to the modernist experimentation and the diversity of postmodernism, each era has contributed something unique to the literary world. These works don't just tell stories, they capture the emotions, struggles, and dreams of humanity throughout history. This journey is just the beginning. Each literary period is a universe of its own, filled with fascinating works, iconic authors, and timeless themes. So, if you're intrigued by this overview, stay tuned for a series of detailed videos where we'll dive deep into the richness of each individual period, exploring the defining characteristics, major works, and hidden gems of Old English, Renaissance, Romanticism, and beyond. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep reading, keep writing, and keep exploring the magic of words. See you in the next video.